All right, we will get started today having a seat on our mat. Just finding that comfortable seated position, whether it's cross-legged, legs out. You can rest the hands in the lap, on the knees, down by your side, whatever's comfortable. And we'll start to close the eyes. Start to focus on the breath. Using the nose to inhale in and then to exhale out, also using the nose. Taking a deep breath as it's comfortable. Just breathing naturally. Feeling the air move in all through the body with each inhale. And feeling it exit throughout the body with each exhale. Starting to let our days go. Bringing ourselves into our rooms and onto our mats. Starting to prepare the mind and the body for the practice that we're about to do. So just take a few minutes here to focus on the breath. Starting to recognize it, getting comfortable with it. Taking a few more deep inhales and exhales. And when you feel ready, slowly start to let your head drop down, tucking the chin to the chest. Letting it hang for just a moment here. And then begin slowly to just start to rotate the head from side to side. Trying to just stay in that front body. Once we get to one ear, rotating back to that other ear. Doing it slowly as is comfortable to you. Maybe holding one side. And the next time we get to that left side, we'll hold that head over that shoulder. Take the right hand, placing it down on the mat, or just hovering those fingers down. Just getting a little bit extra stretch in that side neck. Remembering to take deep inhales and exhales here. And we'll lift that right hand up, place it back in the lap, and slowly rotate the head over to that right side. Holding it over that right shoulder, and then taking that left hand, placing it on the mat, or just letting those fingers kind of dome up on the mat, whatever's comfortable. Again, just feeling that little bit extra of a stretch in that side neck. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then we'll take that left hand, place it back in the lap. Rotate the head one more time from side to side. And then letting the head come center, following that chin down to the chest. Again, just letting the back of that neck stretch. And then slowly start to lift that head up. And then we'll slowly just kind of keep lifting that head up, almost as if we're going to point that chin up to the sky, just getting a stretch in that front neck, just going as far as is comfortable. And then slowly bringing that head up straight. Taking a deep breath. Exhaling it out. We'll take the hands, place them down by the sides, and slowly start to roll the shoulders back. So we're going up towards the ear and then dropping them down the back. Going at your own pace here, whatever's comfortable. It's more comfortable to roll one shoulder at a time. Feel free. And we'll do one more rolling towards the back and let those shoulders come back center. And now we'll roll them towards the front. So bringing those shoulders up and then rotating them towards the front body. And just continuing again to go at your own pace. Whatever's comfortable. Again, if you want to do one shoulder at a time, feel free. And do a few more of those front rolls. And just one more, bringing those shoulders up, dropping them down, and then letting them just rest center. Taking those hands, putting them back in the lap, and just rotate the head one time, just one side, and then rotate it to the other. And then bring it up center, maybe feeling a little bit looser in those shoulders and that neck. And we'll go ahead and come onto our hands and our knees. So take a moment here to line those wrists right under those shoulders, those knees right under the hips. Feet tops are flat on the floor. And as we inhale, we're going to drop our belly down, bring our feet up. Exhale, rolling that spine up, tucking the chin into the chest. Inhale, dropping that belly down, gaze going up. Exhale, rolling that spine. Inhale, dropping that belly down, gaze up. Exhale, rolling that spine. Inhale, drop that belly down, gaze up. Inhale, roll that spine up. And on this inhale, we're just going to come to a neutral spine. We're going to take the right hand, either lifting it out to the side, or you can bring that hand up. And as we exhale, we're going to sweep that right hand through the left hand and knee, dropping that face down onto the mat on that cheek. Taking the left hand, either placing it over that lower back or walking that hand out. So we're also getting a stretch in that left shoulder. Taking a few breaths here. Feeling that twist in that lower spine. Starting to wake up all the way down the back. Taking one more breath here. And we'll take that left hand, either take it off of the lower back or bringing it right next to that face and slowly pushing ourselves up. Taking again just that second here to realign those wrists, realign those knees. And we'll take that left hand, either coming straight out to the side, or we can kind of lift it up And exhale, spreading it through that opposite side, resting that cheek onto the mat, taking that right hand, either sweeping it on that lower back or walking that hand out so we also get that stretch in that right shoulder. Again, taking those deep inhales and exhales. And take just a couple more breaths here. And we'll slowly take that right hand, placing it right by the face, slowly pushing ourselves back up to all fours. Taking that second, line up those toes. Line up those wrists. And then tuck those big toes together and slowly start to sink the hips down onto the heels, dropping the forehead onto the mat. And either leaving the arms stretched out in front of us, or we can take those arms and bring them down along the sides. Whatever's comfortable on those shoulders. Take a few deep inhales and exhales. We'll take one more breath here. Exhaling it out. And then on that next inhale, slowly start to lift ourselves back up to all fours. And we'll tuck those toes and slowly start to lift those hips up towards the sky. Coming into our down dog. Take a second here to pedal those feet out. Lifting one heel, dropping the other. Maybe holding one side a little longer. Whatever's comfortable. Start to wake up the backs of those legs. And then let those feet come into stillness. Take a breath here. And on the next inhale, slowly start to walk the feet up to the hands. Fold over the legs with a little bit of a bend in those knees. And we'll take the hands here, taking hold of each of the elbows, letting the head hang, letting that upper back hang. And then slowly starting to rock side to side. And then slowly coming back center, letting those hands fall. We'll take the hands, place them on the thighs, and slowly start to roll ourselves up. Stacking each vertebrae on top of each other. Those neck and shoulders coming last, rolling them down the back. Taking the hands, letting them rest at the sides. We'll close our eyes, take a deep inhale, and exhale it out. Slowly start to open the eyes. As we inhale, we're going to bring the arms up. Gaze up towards those thumbs. Exhale, swan diving ourselves forward over those legs. Inhale, half lifting, so sliding those hands right under those knees. Exhaling down. Inhale, coming all the way back to standing. Bringing those arms with us. Exhaling down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan diving forward over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. Bringing those arms up with us. Exhaling down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Bringing those arms up. Exhaling down. All right, adding more to that. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. On this inhale, we're going to step the right leg back, dropping onto the knee, untucking the toe if we want to. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, folding back down. Inhale, step that front foot back to a plank or onto the knees. Exhale all the way onto the mat. Inhale, just lift the chest. Exhale down. Inhale, push back to down dog. Take a breath. As we inhale, we're going to lift the right leg. As we exhale, sweep it forward, dropping the foot between the thumbs. Dropping onto that back knee, untucking that toe. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhaling forward. Inhale, coming back up on that foot and stepping that leg forward. Fold over those legs. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhaling the arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step that left leg back to a lunge. Dropping onto the knee, untucking that toe. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhaling down. Inhale, step that right foot back to a high plank or onto the knees. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, just lift that chest. Exhale down. Inhale, back to down dog. Take that breath. Inhale, lifting that left leg. Exhale, sweeping that leg forward. Dropping onto that knee. Untuck that toe. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhaling down. Inhale, step that back foot forward. Fold over those legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale the arms down. All right, we'll release those arms down by our sides. Close those eyes for just a moment. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it out. We'll open the eyes back up. We're going to take the right leg, and with the arms, you can keep them on the hips or kind of out to the side, whatever's comfortable. But we're going to take that right leg, stepping it straight back into a long lunge here. So we're on railroad tracks here. So our feet are parallel with each other, so you don't want one foot in front of the other. And you want to keep that left knee over that left ankle. And when you feel steady, we'll inhale, bring the arms up. And we'll keep this here. In our lunge, we have a little bit of a back bend going here. So we want to make sure to engage that core, helping to take a little bit of that strain off that lower back. Take a few deep breaths here. We're going to stay in our high lunge, but as we exhale, we're going to drop the arms down to the side, not all the way down, just so they're parallel with the floor. And then start to twist the upper body towards that bent knee, keeping those arms out nice and wide. Again, taking those deep breaths here. And if the arms start to fall, that's okay. Take a few more breaths. We'll take one more breath. And on that next inhale, start to turn the upper body back towards the front. We'll exhale, release the hands just onto the hips. And start to rotate that back foot so it's parallel with the mat. So it's parallel with the mat. Again, you can take a second here if you need to adjust the stance. So the heel is going to be about in line with the middle of that back foot. We're going to have that bend in the knee when we feel ready. Again, that knee trying to keep it over that ankle. We're going to bring the arms out for just a second. And then take that front arm. We're going to put a bend in it. And as we exhale, start to tilt over that front leg. Bring that right arm diagonal over the head. And the gaze can go up towards the ceiling, down at the foot, or at the side, whatever's comfortable. Try not to put too much pressure into that left arm that's resting on the leg. We don't want that shoulder to come up. We're just slightly resting it there. Taking a few breaths here. One more breath. And as we inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back up. We can take the arms, bring them down towards the hips. We'll straighten that front leg, rotate that foot so it's also parallel with the mat. Taking a second to line up those toes. So we have a nice straight line with those toes. We'll inhale the arms up. And as we exhale, fold over those legs. Just letting the head hang here. letting the upper back just relax. Taking deep inhales and exhales. We'll take one more breath down here. Exhale it out. And slowly start to walk the hands towards the front of the mat, rotating those feet, and then stepping that back foot forward. Coming into our fold here. We'll kind of toe heel the feet out a little bit so they're about hip distance apart, maybe shoulder distance. And we're going to slowly start to sink the hips down. Like we're going to sit in a chair and bring the upper body up, sweeping those hands up. If we're in our fold and we feel like we can't sink down, we can come all the way up to standing and then start to sink those hips down and sweep those legs out or hands out. So all that weight should be in those heels, light on the toes, trying to tuck those tailbones in. Taking deep inhales and exhales here. Using that breath to help us move through these poses. Taking one more breath. Exhale it out. And on the inhale, start to stand up. Exhale the arms down. We'll go into a couple little balance poses here. So we're going to keep that left leg planted on that ground. We can have the hands out to the sides, on the hips, whatever's going to help us with the balance. Finding that spot on the floor that's directly in front of us. And then slowly starting to roll those right toes up. Bringing that knee up towards the chest. So we can stay right here. Maybe just play with the balance a little bit. We can take that right leg, cross it over that left leg. Trying to get that foot to come and hook on that calf. If not, that foot can kind of just hang out. If we feel like we need to kind of help a little bit with our balance, we can kind of step those toes right by that ankle. Just lightly on the mat, just to kind of help us get that balance. Wherever we're at, when we feel steady, we'll bring the arms up. And we're going to take that right arm, cross it underneath the left, and rotate the palms so they're facing each other. Trying to keep those arms up at that 90-degree. So try not to let those arms fall. Breathing through the pose, wherever we're at. Using the breath to help us balance, help us stay steady. Squeezing those inner thighs towards each other. Taking one more breath here. And release it all out. Take that left leg, shake it out. Shake out that right leg. And we're going to do one more balance on that left leg before we stretch it out. So we're going to do the same thing that we just did so we can keep the arms out to the side. Finding that spot on the floor that's not moving. Slowly starting to lift those right toes. So instead of bringing the knee into the chest, once we've lifted the toes, we're going to start to bring the heel back behind us. Slowly starting to tilt that upper body forward. That left leg should be nice and straight under us. We should have a nice straight line from that right heel all the way up through the crown of the head. And we'll just keep the hands wherever helps us keep our balance. So whether it's off to the side or on the hips. And again, that leg doesn't have to be all the way up. If we're just right here with the toes just barely off the mat, that's okay. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then slowly drop that back foot down. So now we're going to have that back foot down behind us with those toes at a little bit of an angle off to the side. And the heels should be about in line with each other. If they're not, that's okay. We're going to straighten this front leg. Get a nice stretch in that leg that we just did a lot of balance on. So we'll inhale the arms up. And as we exhale, folding straight down over that front leg. If we need blocks or pillows or anything to set those hands on, maybe bring us up just a little bit. Maybe coming all the way to the ground is a little too intense for that leg. That's okay. If you don't have blocks, you can just rest the hands on that shin, on the ankle, up on the thigh, but try to stay off of that knee. You can always have a bend in that front leg. If at any point the pose gets to be too much, you can always back out of it. But try to use the breath here, helping us through the pose. Breathing into the back of the leg. Feeling that breath move all through the leg. Filling in all those little pieces. If you haven't already, let that head just hang. Try to release any tension that you have in that leg, in that neck. Taking a few more breaths here, allowing that leg to release. And slowly put a bend in that front leg, rotating up on those back toes, and then step that right foot forward. If we can, we'll shake out that left leg, setting it back onto the mat, and we'll fold over the legs, letting the head hang. Maybe taking a second here, feeling there's a little bit of difference in that left leg versus the right leg. And then putting a little bit of a bend in those knees, taking those hands, placing them on the thigh, and slowly rolling up. Bringing that head up last, roll the shoulders down the back. Taking the hands by the side, closing the eyes. Take the breath. Exhale it out. And we'll open those eyes back up and move on to that right side. So we'll take that left leg, step it back long. Take a second here to adjust the stance. So we're on those railroad tracks. Making sure that knee's over that ankle. And when we feel steady, we'll inhale the arms up. And settle into the pose. Taking a few breaths. Taking deep inhales and exhales. And we'll exhale those arms down to the side so they're parallel with the ground. And slowly start to rotate that upper body facing that bent leg. Keeping those arms out to the sides. Again, if they start to slide down, that's okay. If we need to give those arms a rest, you can always just wrap them around. Whatever's comfortable. Again, using that breath to help us through these poses. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale it out. And as we inhale, start to turn ourselves back forward. Exhale, release the hands onto the hips. And slowly start to rotate that back foot so it's parallel with the mat. Again, taking a second here to adjust the feet. Making sure that front foot is nice and even with the middle of that back foot. And then putting that bend in that front knee when we feel ready. We'll bring the arms out to the side for just a second. And then put that bend in that front elbow. And slowly shift over that front leg. Bring that left arm up and overhead. The gaze can be down at the foot, up at the ceiling, or at the side. Remembering not to put too much pressure into that elbow so that shoulder starts coming up, just lightly resting it on that knee. Taking those deep breaths here. Take one more breath. And we'll inhale, coming up to standing. Taking those hands, placing them on the hips. Straightening that front leg and rotating that foot so it's parallel with the mat. Taking a second here to line those toes up with each other. And we'll release the hands from the hips. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, fold over those legs. Letting that head hang, releasing any tension in the neck, in the upper back. Taking just those deep breaths here. Just having the feet hold us up, but not having to stretch anything. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale it out. And slowly start to walk the hands towards the front of the mat. Rotating those feet. And step that left leg forward. So we're folding over the legs. And take a second here to toe heel those feet so they're about hip distance, shoulder distance apart. And again, we'll slowly start to sink those hips down as though we're sitting in a chair. And bring that upper body up, swinging those arms around. Again, if we're folded and we want to come all the way up to standing, and then start to sink the hips down and swing the arms forward. All that weight's in those heels, tugging that tailbone. Taking a few breaths here. We'll take one more breath. Exhaling it out. As we inhale, popping ourselves up. Exhaling the arms down. Closing the eyes. Taking that breath here. We'll slowly open the eyes back up and move to our balances on this right side. So we'll take those hands, placing them out to the side or wherever's comfortable to get that balance. Finding that spot on the floor that's not moving, that's directly in front of us. And then slowly starting to bring those left toes up. Lifting that foot up off the mat. Again, we can stay right here with that knee lifted. If we feel like that's the balance that we have today. Or we can slowly start to bring that left leg over that right. Try to tuck those toes behind the calf, or just let that foot just kind of rest next to the calf. Or if we're crossed, we can always bring those toes down on the mat, help us a little bit with that balance. Wherever we're at when we feel steady, we'll bring those arms up. Take that left arm, cross it under. Rotate the palms so they're facing each other. And again, trying to get those arms at that 90 degrees. And breathing into the pose. Using that breath to help us with the balance. Again, feeling those inner thighs move in towards each other. Taking deep breaths here. Take one more breath. And then release it all out. Shake that right leg out. Shake that left leg out. And we'll come to our last balance. So again, we're going to go in that same way we started. So those hands are out to the sides or wherever is comfortable. Slowly start to lift those right toes up. Once we have that foot up, we'll start to kick that leg back behind us. Pointing that toe down towards the floor. That right leg is straight. Having that straight line between that left foot all the way up to the crown of the head. And we can keep the hands just out to the side or wherever's comfortable. Again, the foot doesn't have to be up all the way off the mat. We can have it just the toes resting. Wherever we're at, that's okay. Taking one more breath. And then dropping that back foot down onto the mat. We'll take those back toes. Again, kind of face them so they're kind of pointed diagonal. Trying to line the heels up this time. Those hips are going to be pointing straight forward, straightening that front leg. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, folding over that front leg. Again, if you have blocks or pillows or anything that you can set next to the foot to help you come up out of the pose a little bit, if that's more comfortable, feel free. Or you can have the hands on the shin, on the ankle, up on that thigh, trying to be off the knee. And again, there's always the option of having a bend in the front knee. If you haven't, release the head, letting it hang. Using the breath here to go into the back of that leg, helping the leg release. Take deep breaths here. Hold it for just a few more breaths. And slowly putting a bend in that front knee, rotating that back foot up. Rotate the hands, placing them onto the mat. Step that back foot back into a down dog. Shake that right leg out. Slowly place that foot down onto the mat. And then come down onto the knees. Placing those big toes together. Sinking those hips back over the heels. Resting that forehead on the mat. Taking a few breaths here. On the next inhale, we're slowly going to make our way up to our hands and our knees. Take a second to line those wrists up. We'll do a few of our cat-cows here. So inhale, drop that belly down, gaze coming up. Exhale, roll that spine up, chin to the chest. Inhale, belly down, gaze up. Exhale, rolling that spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, dropping that belly down, gaze up. Exhale, roll that spine up. And we'll do one more. Inhaling, belly down, gaze up. Exhale, rolling that spine up. And as we inhale, coming to a neutral spine, we're going to take the left shoulder and just slowly start to rotate it towards that, or I'm sorry, the right shoulder, and slowly start to rotate it towards the right hip. And then slowly going to the other side, left shoulder to left hip. And doing one more on each side, so going to that right side. And then going to that left side. And then coming back center. We'll make our way having a seat on the mat. And then slowly making our way all the way down onto our backs. Bringing the knees up into the chest, taking a hold of those legs and slowly rocking side to side. And we'll release the legs, keeping them up, taking the hands, placing them either down by the side or down at the side, kind of like a T, or we can keep them so they're placed right down by the side, whatever's comfortable. We'll take the legs, straightening them up. We don't have to have the knees completely straight. We're just gonna flex the feet and point the toes. And then start to roll the ankles, doing some circles, going just to one side. And then switch that direction. And then go ahead and point and flex one last time. And then bring those feet down, placing them on the mat. And we'll slowly place one leg on the mat, follow it by the other. We'll take the arms, bring them up overhead. Do one final full body stretch. So stretch those arms up, stretch those legs out, just like we're getting out of bed in the morning. And then releasing it all down onto the mat. Letting those legs fall wherever's comfortable. Bringing those hands down by the sides. Slowly start to close the eyes. Focusing on the breath. Once again, feeling that breath move in through the body. Filling those lungs with each inhale. And then feeling it leave the body with each exhale. Taking these next few minutes to have nothing to focus on or worry about. Trying to clear the mind. Trying to release any tension within the body or stress within the mind. Feeling it slowly exiting out with each exhale. And feeling the body relax more into the mat with each inhale. These next few minutes are just for you to have nothing to think about. Maybe this is the only time you have to yourself all day. To take these next few minutes to just be. Start to bring a little life back into your body by wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling your wrists and ankles, rocking your head from side to side. Begin to deepen your inhales and exhales. And when you feel ready, slowly take one foot, place it on the mat, and follow it by the other foot. And then take one knee, bringing it to the chest, followed by the other. Taking a hold of the legs, slowly rocking side to side. And when you feel ready, roll onto your right side. With your right side grounded by the earth, leaving your left side open to the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the gifts that the universe has to offer you today. When you feel ready, come up to a comfortable seated position. We'll take the hands, placing them in front of the heart. Close the eyes one last time. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this evening. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.